Icky. Good boy. Hello, welcome to In My Crumble Opinion Shorts. Obviously, I am in boy form, so instead of calling me Phoebe Cakes, you can call me Robert today. But actually, don't call me, lose my number. And who are you?
I'm Angel. Hi.
Angel's usually behind the camera, kind of pressing buttons and being a little bitch off screen. But today she wanted to be a bitch on screen. Actually, this was all her idea. So if you disagree with anything that we say today, it's all her fault. Today, in my Crumble Opinion Shorts, we are going to be reviewing the PrincX Pageant, that night one that just happened at Oasis. That's put on by the Princess Crew. If you don't know anything about the PrincX Pageant because you're just a drag appreciator that's not in the Bay Area, it is a 2-night pageant affair. I'm sorry, we have a critic over here. A 2-night affair. It is pageant season. We just had Butch Queen. We just did Pillows pageant that happened last night. Congratulations, Betty and Miss B. Haven. Princess Pageant almost seems like the battle royale of Bay Area pageants. Not that I would say it is the best, but it is the one that has a couple of features that make it a little special. It happens over the course of 2 nights, which I mentioned already. So we're only going to talk about night 1, which are comprised of runway presentation called creative presentation, Q&A, we'll talk about that, and then also lip sync battles. And then the second night is all talent presentation. And then the other really cool feature is that to apply, you have to have been doing drag for at least 5 years. So there's a seniority kind of aspect to it. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Legends only.
Legends only. And this year, legends.
Legends. No, I think it's definitely a good thing. Well, it's kind of a value neutral thing. It's like, it's not like pageants with baby performers are also great, but this one is just specifically for people who've been in the scene for a little longer, have developed their persona, and are now ready to like unleash some of the best of what they have.
Okay, so let's just jump right into it. This is supposed to be In My Crumble Opinion Shorts, not In My Crumble Opinion Long. But before we do, please like, subscribe. Let us know if you like this format. We're going to be back with our regular scheduled programming, so long-form podcast interviews. Next on the docket is going to be Vivian Forevermore. That's going to be super sickening. And then after that, we also have Jillian Narling, also the OG troll of the Bay Area. Sorry, Poppy. Jillian did it first. Okay. The judges this year were, from right to left, were Grace Towers, Meatball, Tito, Soto, Nikki Jizz, and Jax. So let's go in order of runway presentation because that's the first thing that happened.
The theme for the creative presentations this year was Elemental.
Elemental. Okay, so this may or may not be the the Disney influence of the producers, but that's so funny. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, Disney Pixar. So Betty Fresas was first. She was giving the element of fire. So she started... she was like tied to a stake that was smoking, and she screamed Balenciaga.
Work. Okay. Ryan Murphy stan, I see.
The only good season.
The only good season of
American
anything Ryan Murphy ever did. Yeah.
And then she becomes this phoenix that rises from the ashes.
Work. And then she's wearing a Mackie-inspired flame dress. RuPaul's worn it. Cher. I think Luxe Noir London also wore a version of it on last year's Drag Race. So there's references. It's gay canon. It's definitely camped up with the giant wings. This year, and I think... So I'll give like 2 kind of like glosses of how things are going. It's just like, I think there's... watching it on the feed is a different experience than watching it on the floor, versus a different experience of watching it from the judges' table. So there's, it's all open to interpretation. I just want to say this off the bat, is like, anybody can win this. Like, literally, we walked away from this pageant going like, wow, everyone did really, really fucking well. Yeah. And this was a great opener. Yes. I thought it was great. I think from the floor, from the judges, and at home,
and from the
just
screen.
a lot of impact.
Just really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the storytelling elements that we saw in all the creative presentations this year were really ramped up. I think people have really kind of expanded their approach to kind of presenting their looks. So that's really cool too.
Yeah. Next was Sriracha. We had an element of air.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a up inspired little
Pixar, Disney Pixar.
a little boy getting taken away on a balloon. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing. It's a little Wizard of Oz.
Uh-huh.
It's a little up. It's whimsical. It's beautiful.
Whimsy.
I thought this was an excellent use of their skills as a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sriracha is one of the best movers in the competition this year. Obviously, very artistic, a lot of kinesthetic awareness. I really love their presentation. I think it's really cute. Now, is it reductive because I did balloons last year?
Balloons on the runway.
I mean, balloons on the runway.
It is the first of the balloons on the runway. But balloons on the runway was a theme.
Yeah.
For this first night.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it was great. I really liked it. And obviously, element of air. Also, the first time, not the only time, but the first time we see a leaf blower.
Yeah. Next up was Sassy Fran.
So I think we need to acknowledge our bias here. Sassy is in Philippines with me, so I love my sister. And also, Angel did a wonderful job stoning.
I stoned the corset, the garters, and the mushroom hats that both Sassy and then her helpers wear.
Yeah.
But I did really love this.
Yeah, I loved it. What I also loved is that we only saw those costume pieces that you were stoning.
I didn't know.
So we didn't know that there was going to be this like overgarment with like tulle with like florets all over it. So there's a lot of layers, and then this like trumpet mushroom
so cute
skirt that illuminates from the bottom, and then there's also kind of a UV reactive paint as well. I thought it was a really great runway presentation.
I agree. It had a lot of elements going on, but it was also it looked really cute and cohesive and fashionable. You could tell immediately what it was, the element of mushroom. I really loved it.
Of psychedelia. Just on brand. On brand. I mean, like you see it in the silhouette and the cuteness of it, the kawaii elements. Just all very sassy to me, and that's something that everyone that did the runway kind of like nailed. They really showed their personality, I thought.
And also we had balloons on the runway inspired by your cycle, and also mushrooms on the runway.
Mushrooms, yeah, that's right. Mushrooms, yeah, that's right.
So,
trendsetter.
Next was Cheetah Biscotti.
Okay, so this was one of the ones where, from my vantage point, I really couldn't get the whole story because I am 5'5". I was wearing heels, so I was maybe like 5'6", 7", but still really struggled to see what was going on.
How tall were the heels you were wearing? Sorry, how tall are you?
Okay, it was four inches.
Heels?
Okay, maybe it was like okay.
I thought this was great though. It's another element of air, so we're starting to get some overlap. We do have another leaf blower here, but it's this kind of outfit transformation. And when we watched it on the floor night of, I didn't see the dress kind of get removed.
Mm-hmm.
It happened really seamlessly, and even in the stream, it happened so smoothly where you almost don't see what's happening. All that happens is they're wearing this little dress thing, then the newspaper is blowing in their face, and then all of a sudden they're naked. It's very well done.
Yeah, it's very well done. It's beautiful, and the extras are all sickening. PrincX cakes and translucent cakes. Thank you.
And Glam PT.
Glam PT. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Everyone looks sickening. Great presentation. Also very on brand. Like this is all very Cheetah Biscotti to me.
All right. Then next was Beverly Chills. Ooh. So we're back to fire. So there is a little bit of a the theme was elemental, but the actual theme was Earth, Wind, and Fire, because those are the three elements that were represented.
Okay, yes.
I did a tally, and it was Earth, Wind, and Fire by September. Anyway, no, this is very fashion, very cool. Just the
Yeah.
coolest girl in the world, Beverly Chills.
Yeah, I also love that it's not so literalistic or like uh symbolic of like fire. You know, it's just like her garment was burned, which is maybe a little bit of literalism, but like it was a different approach, which I really enjoyed because it was very like you have to look closely and you can see kind of how the garment was like treated with heat. And I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then
she
there's
also gave us the element of womanhood.
estrogen. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, she the fourth element or fifth element is estrogen. Yeah.
Yeah. So great presentation, just super gaggy to
Yeah.
watch. Yeah.
A lot of people brought trade on the runway too. Balloons, trade, mushrooms,
leaf blowers.
leaf blowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were trends. Next was God's Little Princess. This was another of my favorites.
I feel like this might be my favorite. Have we seen people get watered and turn into a rose
and
before?
we'll see it again.
Yeah. We've seen it multiple times, but this was a really good version of it for me. I thought it was really cute. Also very tradey. The garment itself stands on its own too. It was great. I mean, everyone did great.
It's God's Little Pikmin. This look has a lot of details.
I don't know what that means.
I know you don't know what it means. I didn't say it for you, but they'll get it. So that's what's important. I really had to kind of watch the stream to catch a lot of these details that I missed the night of. Mm-hmm. Like the bugs that are like floating around her.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really fun. And the rosebud.
And the rosebud. So funny.
Yeah. She's
a funny girl.
Next was Yaya. And we're back in the sky. She's a cloud.
Ooh. Wow.
And it's really stunning.
It's a gorgeous garment. Yeah. I think in terms of like just costume, you know, alone, mm-hmm. you know, and construction and cleanliness, I think this was probably like the most impressive runway. The flume was a good touch. Personality sold it too. I mean, no notes.
Yeah, beautiful, mm-hmm. stoned, mm-hmm. billowy. Yeah, and she's got trade on the runway. These clouds are giving trade of the season.
Cumulus.
Yeah, and then I think this is the last one, Ray of Light. It was really cool. I really enjoyed when she came out as mm-hmm. this giant figure. It just really struck this tableau in the black light that mm-hmm. really worked for me.
It was cute, but it was also kind of like creepy, mm-hmm. and but like. Also, the scale was so large, like the outer costume was so big. What she revealed to was also really big, and there's like a craftiness to it, and that's not a pejorative. I mean, like there's a craftiness to that I find so like integral to Bay Area drag, and like being able to see kind of like all of the intricacies, but all of like the homemadeness of those kind of like elements. It's just like really just like special. We also got kind of the got
another watering
can moment, but it was beautiful.
It was beautiful, and just like you said, the scale of it. Mm-hmm. I really like that it's just these like big figures that she created with the skeleton and then the rose. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yes.
Okay.
So Q&A section was next, which is great because we get to spend a little more time with the looks that everybody spent so much time putting together.
In general, what you're looking for in a Q&A answer that's good is fluidity, relevance, and conciseness. I suck at Q&As. It's very much like me hosting a show. Yeah. I'm like very all over the place, a lot of ums and uhs.
And in 2 years of PrincX Pageants, I think that it's kind of become a little bit of a trope where like San Francisco is not good at Q&A.
Yeah. I think for the most part, everyone got pretty silly questions, which is, you know, their format. Sassy kind of had an earnest question, and I think her answer stood out to me because it was really beautiful and really earnest. and but also really good and concise. And I think
I think
God's Little Princess had a
had a
standout one
standout,
because
yeah.
she had a little banter with Nikki Jizz, who ended up asking that question as well.
I do think that overall the answers this year were a little bit better than they have been the last couple of years.
Yeah, people were.
I think it was
were
a little
good.
looser. It
Yeah.
was. I don't think there was any like cringe moments.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall everyone did a pretty good job. So I think that a couple people probably eked out a few more points, but overall I don't think the Q&A is going to be like a queen maker. A king
I
maker.
think it's a queen and kingmaker. I think you're wrong. I think Q&A made a difference last year because Amora did well in every single category except for Q&A. And then the year prior, I did well in every single category except Q&A. So to say Q&A doesn't matter,
saying
I think
this
is
year.
actually wrong.
But I'm saying this year.
You think this year?
I think
okay.
this year it's overall.
I think every point matters.
I don't think that anyone who was doing well bombed the Q&A. So I don't think that it's going to sink anyone.
That's true. I don't think Q&A is going to sink anybody. Yeah. I would agree with that. All right, lip sync battles. Lip sync battles are completely randomized. I'm saying it officially on the record. You know, we find out on the spot.
We had no idea.
We have no idea. Okay, we're gagged.
The winner of the lip sync battle gets some kind of a point advantage, and the winner is chosen by one of the guest judges, this year it being Meatball. First lip sync was Sassy Fran and Beverly Chills, and they lip synced to Immaterial by Sophie.
Okay, so the way I conceptualize, and if I was going to coach like someone competing in a lip sync, I think of lip syncs as like chess games. You know, it's just like conventional wisdom states. Try to control the center of the board, but you can still win a game by working on the outside and being kind of the Queen's Gambit,
the Gambitry of it all.
The Gambitry of it all. So I would say like they're playing two different games. They're two different performers. So I would say like Beverly Chills, tall, statuesque, cool girl, it girl, fashion, serving face, estrogenated. And then I would say Sassy, cute, mover, energetic, spunky, sprightly.
Yeah.
So very different ways to approach a song that I think suits both of them actually very, very well. So kudos to, the gods of randomness that they both got this song.
And I think that out of the 4 lip sync battles that we got, this one is probably the one where the 2 competitors were the most different. So it was just kind of like a little bit of just apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Kind of.
This lip sync was a close call. I think there's some conferring that had to happen and some deliberation on the spot. And it kind of gave Meatball some consternation.
I think they both did a great job. For me, I agreed with the eventual winner. Sassy Fran was just like super cute, super energetic, and did take it for me.
Yeah. One thing I know about Sassy is that she will plan every single thing out. The reason it was so contentious that there was a bit of a wig malfunction, but I think at the end of the day, like Sassy worked it out. So yeah.
Agreed. But Beverly also slayed.
Yes, Beverly also slayed. Beverly looked great. And as we're filming this, the pictures from the night have already come out. Everybody go look at the fucking pictures because everyone looks so good. Everyone looks so good. And this lip sync in particular, like Beverly, like looks amazing.
The next battle was Betty Fresas versus God's Little Princess.
Also, Gods of Randomness, thank you for both giving them Como la Flor.
Como la Flor by Selena Quintanilla. Salinas, California.
Yeah, Salinas, California. They both look amazing. I would say already Betty has a little bit of an edge because she has a reveal, and it's very clear that Clark doesn't. But Clark's outfit's very good. So God's Little Princess.
GLP.
Sorry. Yeah, GLP.
Is not La Flor. She is La... How do you say mushroom in Spanish?
Champion?
Champignon.
No, that's French. I don't know. Okay, well, whatever. Serving mushroom. My influence again. Okay.
Anyway, this one was slay.
It was great.
This was a really good
It was a really good one. Betty just really came out on top.
Betty came out on top. I think that this one was really great. They both did great, but it was a little bit of a simpler one in that Betty did end up just kind of eating by the end of it. She, especially once she had the reveal, it was Betty's. Yeah.
But they both did great.
Yeah.
We're living for the whole lip sync. Okay.
Yeah.
Lip sync 3.
Yaya and Raylight lip synced to Bjork.
Oh So Quiet.
Oh So Quiet.
Yes. This was okay. The whole night was a Rorschach. I think like people saw the same thing, and depending on your personality type, disposition, state of mind, point of view, you saw something entirely different from the person next to you.
Yeah.
And I think this was one of those because
This
it's just
was
like
definitely
it's
the
like
one.
it was either Yaya one or it was either Raylight one.
And never the twain
shall meet.
Yeah.
Angel and I felt as if Raylight kind of like ate it. And again, like that might be from like where we were standing. It was kind of harder for me to see Yaya because I think Yaya was further down on the stage.
We were a little closer up.
And I was looking upstage a lot. But again, like game of chess, 2 different strategies. I think Yaya kind of embodied the song and just kind of like knew it.
It really was just like so completely different approaches. Yaya is just like embodying the song and like feeling the song and putting her whole being into
in it. Yeah.
Her whole beauty. And then Raylight is doing something completely different where it's oh so quiet and she's just like breaking the silence in all these like absurd ways.
Kind of great. Just like the shhs were like silly string, which is like you get me. I'm sorry, you're always gonna get me with silly string. I'm always gonna find silly string a serve.
Yeah.
Like period.
Yeah.
Balloons again on the runway, but every
Confetti
time there was like
cannon.
every time it was quiet.
It was.
She popped the balloon.
One of the things that maybe worked against Rhea was that she fired off the confetti cannon and it kind of just showered Yaya in confetti. So it was one of those moments that kind of the prop worked maybe for the competitor's favor.
Yeah.
It looked great.
It looks great.
But
that's also a good photo. Go look at the photos.
Yeah. Anyway, so we get to the judging. Meatball is at an impasse. She does not know what to do.
So they did a legendary tiebreaker situation. And started with Jax. Jax voted for Yaya. And then Nikki
voted for Yaya.
Also voted for Yaya. And I think Tito also voted for Yaya.
Raylight had it for me. I'm sorry. Okay.
I don't remember. I was drinking a lot that night. You were the one that was sober.
It was.
Anyways, it was a close call. And Yaya eked out a win. And I think that's very crucial for Yaya's, for everybody standing, like to win a lip sync, I think is very important.
Important context based on the last 2 years. There have been competitors who have not won their lip sync but made it into the top 3. But there has not been a winner of this pageant who has not also won their lip sync battle.
Yes.
So winning your lip sync battle is a pretty important element to taking that win. And maybe we saved the best for last. I think this one has hands down maybe everyone's favorite moment of the night. Mm-hmm. This was Sriracha versus Cheetah Biscotti, and they were lip syncing to Pour Some Sugar on Me by...
hold on. I don't remember. It's Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Pour Some Sugar for Me.
Pour Some Sugar on Me. Fun fact about this song, it was featured on Bring It On, but Bring It On did not purchase kind of like perpetual in perpetuity rights for the song. So if you ever watch Bring It On television or in syndication, they're not playing that song anymore.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Is it just like Drag Race France, where there's just like royalty-free music, like bopping?
Something bad is playing. That's right. And the same thing for like the opening to Dawson's Creek is like Paula Cole. I don't want to wait. But if you watch it on like Netflix or something, it's like some other random bad 90s song. Anyways.
I want to point out this funny moment that happened. They had this kind of funny structure for the lip syncs where the contestants get picked randomly. And then Evian and Mud come out and they each have a box, but they flip a coin. It's like this Rube Goldberg machine of like figuring out what song they're gonna do, because the first contestant picked then does a coin flip, and then if they get heads or tails, then they get to pick number 1 or number 2.
That's game show logic, baby.
Anyway, that's not.
No. Game show.
I want to get to what I actually
like.
want
Let's
to
make
talk
a deal. You choose a suitcase, but you don't. know
Anyway,
what's in
there
the
were a lot of
suitcase.
steps to getting to these song
Anyways.
titles. Each time the contestant got to choose their box, they chose number 1, which Evian was holding. So Evian walked out one time. She walked out a second time. She walked out a third time. Finally, the fourth lip sync comes along. And Mud is like, give me that number 1 box. I want to fucking walk out on this stage. So they swap boxes. And then Sriracha chooses box number 2.
That's funny.
And so Mud snatched the box out of everyone's hands and did walk the stage. So that was a funny moment.
That's cute.
Yeah, that was
okay.
cute.
Okay, so you said this had the gaggiest moment. Tell me, what is the gaggiest moment of the night?
Of the night. So they both were doing really fantastically. And then one of these moments happened where Sriracha had a prop. It was a very funny prop. It was one of these giant gummy worms.
Yeah, it's a giant gummy worm.
That they pulled out of their pants.
I love those.
But they like slung it over their shoulder, and Cheetah Biscotti started like sucking on it, and they basically pulled Cheetah Biscotti down the runway, and it just we lost our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone did really, really great. I think there are 2 clear-ish winners for the lip syncs, and that was Cheetah and
Betty.
And then, and then everybody else was kind of close in terms of their lip syncs, but maybe eked out a couple more points. So really, it's still anybody's game. I mean, I really wouldn't count anybody out.
So we had a great first night.
Yeah.
Everyone did really well.
And I think the Princess team did a wonderful job.
Did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I do think that it's more even across the board than it's ever been after a first week, which is really exciting because it really does come down to the talent portion.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's 100% going to be about
I'm
that.
so excited.
But you have to choose who is your top 3 going into week 2.
My top 3? Okay. Well, it's different. It's just like it's like the Academy Awards. Who do I think is gonna win, or who do I want to win? You know what I mean? Like those are 2 different lists. So what are you asking me?
Who's your top 3?
Okay, my top 3. I think based on what I saw and how I think the audience responded, I think God's Little Princess did really well. Betty Freysos probably got the most points for the night. I think Sassy Fran is kind of a dark horse. I think people that should be doing well with really big kind of like a lot of energy and a buzz behind them are like Cheetah, Bev, and Yaya. But like everybody has their lane and everyone's doing what they do in their lane really, really, really well. So it's just like, I already said it earlier in the episode, Sriracha, probably my favorite mover dancer, and like Mind in the race. I really want to see what they do, so I mean, I don't know, anybody could win.
Yeah. I pretty much agree wholeheartedly. I think that going into it, total packages, start to finish, everything they presented, I would put Betty Freysos and God's Little Princess as maybe the best positioned going into week 2.
I don't know. God's Little Princess did not win their lip sync.
That's true, but I think that they had the best Q&A answer.
They did have the best Q&A answer.
So it's evening out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's week 1.
That's right. That's it. Okay, so I do want to say last year we did do a PrincX reunion. I'm not saying we're not doing it this year. Nothing's on the books about it. If you're competing this year and you want to do one, pipe up. Let us know. I do want to say, like, I'm uncomfortable doing a PrincX reunion without also involving the Princess team, because I think it would be really slay if we could involve them in the production of it and also get their views on how things went for them. And, so, yeah, I don't know. Just let us know if you want to see a reunion this year. The way we've been doing, in my crumble opinion, this year has been kind of on a bi-weekly basis instead of a weekly basis. And we're filming things, not even that right now. But so we're filming things really, really ahead of time. So we could kind of like push this in front of the pipeline if that's something that y'all want to see. So we're not saying we're not doing it, but if you want to see it, make some noise. Okay, that's it.
Bye. See you at on Saturday at Oasis.
See you on Saturday at Oasis.
And let the games begin.